Hello, hope y'all are all doing great. It's October 7th, and today I'm here. Of course, so today I'm going to be talking about Tropical Storm Julia. We have a new tropical storm in the Caribbean. We're going to be talking about that. And some other stuff. Really nothing. Once again, it should be like a shorter video, as there's not a ton to talk about. Yeah, we can see Tropical Storm Julia. Look at it right here. 45 mile per hour winds currently, and is expected to just head straight west pretty much and make landfall during the day on Sunday. Uh, we already have hurricane warnings out. Uh, there is hurricane warnings out. And really the main problem with this thing is going to be rain, more or less, than like the winds. The winds will still be a problem as this is going to be a hurricane. It's expected to strengthen into a hurricane. But the rain will be an issue as well. Let's go over to the models here. Uh, Yeah, we can see the GFS is like going down like 985. Then it makes sense. Well, look at all the rain we see across the area. It does not move out quickly either, and so we're able to see GFS indicates some areas up to like 6 to 10 inches. Uh, European doesn't go out as far enough, but similar already, like 6 to 10 inches in a few areas. Uh, Mainly in kind of like this area here. Uh, and like strength wise, the European takes this thing up to a 986, so very similar to the GFS. Canadian still takes this down to a 985, so I mean very similar. I mean all these models are about the same 985 millibars. That's what this thing gets taken down to by the time it makes landfall, kind of Sunday in between, like probably Sunday around noon, maybe a little bit before noon. So yeah, that is that. That's just a little update on Tropical Storm Julia. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about with it. Uh, Main threats with it in that area is going to be just really heavy rain and that wind threat, especially along the coast. Now taking a look at once again the GFS model, but now we're like looking at the uh, lower 48 here, the United States, uh, and what we've been looking at is next week we've been kind of like tracking this potential storm system. It's been pretty like inconsistent. The models have not had a good grasp on this, and now I mean it's starting to get a little more interesting. So by like Tuesday, Wednesday, we can see a pretty unsettled pattern across like uh kind of like the upper Midwest down into the Central Plains. Pretty windy with a couple of like a little bit of showers. I mean nothing too organized. We really see that low start to get together up in Canada by Wednesday afternoon in the GFS here. Cold air pushing down from Canada into the northern U.S. in the backside of this. Uh, and also a little bit of rain across the Great Lakes and even into the southeast. Maybe some areas could get rain in the southeast. Not looking that good though. Looks like more or less most of the rain we could see would likely be in the northeast. But what we see is we kind of see like the low just rotate, like these lows kind of just rotate around each other for a little bit. Like another one comes down from Canada, bringing more cold air. And then these do create like a good bit of snow across Michigan, Wisconsin, and UP, Michigan. I think the GFS was also showing this yesterday. So I mean, maybe we could see our first snow, like actual snow in some areas. Uh, and after this, just something to know though is that for the rest of the run, the GFS just has storm system after storm system coming down through the same areas. So it's looking like, I mean, generally the pattern is going to continue where we have troughing in the east, uh, cooler air in the east, as well as multiple snow chances across that area uh, for like the next couple of weeks. We could see a few, not multiple, but a few. Still, I mean, none right now that it like is really like certain, but it is looking like the pattern would be in place to maybe see a little bit of snow in that area. Nothing like no like organized like storm systems that like you see in the winter, like the that bring like a lot of snow. But I mean, just like general snow showers. We could see that. So the European actually, what? It's my first time seeing the European. This particular run in the European. Yeah, so the European goes a little more strong, a little more like further south with that low as well. Got the classic like comet head appearance here. A ton of rain across the southeast. In fact, I mean we have a squall line right there, so I mean there'd probably be a severe weather threat because we have all this warm air in place in front of this. Uh, but look at that, we do see actual snow in Minnesota. We do see like all the way down in almost Kansas. We see snow, southwest Kansas. But yeah, we do see a good bit of snow in Minnesota. So I mean, next week, mid to late next week is looking interesting. If this happens, we could see both severe weather, uh, and snow. But then the GFS is a little different uh, than the European. Uh, but yeah, I mean that is pretty cool. So I mean, Canadian still has a low on the Gulf Coast that kind of turns into a nor'easter, mainly off the coast. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think that the chances of maybe some snow is increasing across this area. Any snow, I mean, like just like any snow showers, just anything. I think the chances towards the end of next week are increasing across that area. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Can't really spend too much time on that, or we can, but I mean, there's not really. It's not really gonna go anywhere. Uh, so right now, I mean, next week is looking interesting, especially towards like after Wednesday, between what we actually see, because we could see our first like I don't really know how to like our first like I guess like fall like storm system. I don't think that's the right word for it though. This is just our first like the European has just been like our first like significant like winter type storm system, like storm systems that you see in the winter, like the comet heads, like the big really like the ones that we have a classic like severe weather, a classic severe weather event across like Dixie Alley, into like the Ohio Valley or the Southern Plains. With snow up near the low in the backside, just like the classic like comet head. I mean, the European indicates that. Now, GFS doesn't. GFS is much more like the GFS storm system's too far north, and there's not a whole lot of moisture. So we see most of that rain limited to the northeast. So I mean, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But I mean, the European has not been showing that, or it was not a little bit ago. So could be the start of a new trend. We'll see if that holds. But yeah, I may or may not have a video out tomorrow. I might be a little more busy than normal tomorrow, but definitely Sunday. Definitely Sunday. Maybe tomorrow too. Probably tomorrow, but I don't know. I'll see. I'll see. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all watching the video. I hope y'all have an excellent day tomorrow. And once again, if y'all have any recommendations for any types of videos you'd like to see, just let me know, please. And yeah, goodbye.